am here to do a video on chicken. My husband went out and got a big packet of chicken, and sometimes you're getting what you get at the grocery stores right now during this COVID-19 shut-in. So I thought I would kind of share a little bit about what I do with chicken when I'm really kind of watching my weight, but still feeling like I don't want to eat the same thing every single meal, and getting it home from the grocery store, prepping it, and pre-planning for cooking for one or two. So I have a whole bunch of condiments and spices lined up here. I have some baggies. I have my cut and close here because some of the chicken I want to slice thinly, and I'm going to use that. I have just a few Pampered Chef products that I'm going to use for this video, and I also have some cleanup wipes and a fresh little towel right here. And I'm going to talk a little bit about the ways that that we commonly buy chicken. So, we know that chicken breast is a little bit leaner, and so a lot of times we just pick up a package of chicken breasts. At Costco, you can get these nice little individual sized pouches, which you can take out of the freezer one or two at a time, which is really, really helpful. But a lot of times you get these big packages of chicken, which is great for a family or when you're planning a big casserole or barbecuing and you have a crowd. But right now there's a lot of us who are shut in and we are cooking for one or two people. And that's kind of like my own brand. I cook a lot for one or two people. My husband travels with his work a little bit, and so a lot of times it's just me, and I want to eat healthy. Now, recently Pampered Chef came out with this wonderful air fryer, and when I first got it, I did something I hardly ever do, and that was go to the freezer section of the grocery store and buy a lot of pre-prepared food. There we go. None of my videos are going to be perfect. That's just not who I am. I'm not going to edit them. I'm not going to fix them. This is how I roll. I roll imperfectly. So I got all of these fun little things that I never get. I got frozen taquitos and onion rings and some pre-done steak fries and things like that so that I could test out my air fryer. And what I found is that I didn't have to just pretend to fry things that were semi-unhealthy for me in a slightly better way, that I could use that air fryer for lots of different meals. I'm calling it my Easy Bake Oven. You're going to see a trend for a while with me kind of showcasing how I use that. So, but today it is about preparing the chicken so that I can make some meals. Yesterday, I cooked some sausage and some hamburger together. I divided those into portions. I have the pictures to show from last night's zucchini spaghetti that I made. And I'm going to start showing you the pork and sauce hamburger combinations and a couple of other meals as I took the meat and I divided it into little bits of sections for additional meals. So what I want to do now is, because I don't want to eat hamburger and sausage every single day, I want to rotate in the chicken. So I'm going to start with going in my mind thinking, what do I have in my pantry, what do I have in my freezer, what do I have in my fridge, that I can make some meals that are a little bit healthier. We're trying to clean out the pantry, the freezer, the refrigerator, do all the kinds of things to limit the amount of shopping that we're doing. But it's stressful, and I normally exercise a lot. Not a high intensity exercise, but I play a lot of tennis. And right now I can't do my favorite thing that I am scheduled to do, let's be honest, 4 to 7 times a week. I play a lot of tennis because it's fun, and I get my exercise in, and I'm not sitting on the couch and I'm moving. But right now I'm not doing that. So like many of you women, you have skinny clothes and medium clothes and fat clothes. And right now I'm in my fat clothes. So I want to make sure that I again of how I eat. And so this morning I had a wonderful shake, and I used Pampered Enrichables to make that, and we will do another video about that. But now I'm going to start with the intense chicken. So one of the things I do is I wash my hands to get started. Right now we're washing our hands a lot. We have a lot of cleaning products out. And one of the things that I did, because I couldn't find more wipes, is I made my own. And then I decided, you know what, I have a whole bunch of white washcloths. My daughter shared the tip with me that she just buys stacks of white washcloths, and she uses them for all of her cleaning, all throughout the whole house, and then she just bleaches them, and then she has these as her cleaning towels. So I pre-staged around every sink in our house some disinfectant and some water that's there, and some cleaning towels and hand wipers. And the thing is we just wash a lot of them. We don't reuse them, and they are great. But the reason why I'm bringing this up is because people know that chicken can have salmonella poisoning. And the salmonella is a bacteria. And bacteria actually can grow in food, and there's certain foods like eggs and chicken that we know it likes a lot. So, this is the thing that gives you food poisoning, and it is different than the virus. So we're going to be careful on how we handle this chicken today, but I know a lot of people don't even like to touch raw chicken. But I've got a couple of tips for that as well. So I'm just going to open up our chicken here, and there are 6 very large breasts in here, and each of them definitely can be 2 servings of meat. A lot of us eat more protein than we actually need, and some people do it on purpose. Yes, I'm throwing stuff on the floor. I'm just going to use a wipe because I picked something up off the floor, just to be careful, because I'm not sanitizing my floors as much as I'm sanitizing countertops. Okay, so I've got my hands clean again, and I am going to deal with the first piece of chicken. So one of the things I want to do is I'm going to make some fajitas. I'm going to make some chicken fajitas. And I have a nice little mat here, and I'm going to move some of the condiments right over here. I have a great cutting board, but I am going to get out a cutting mat that comes in a set of 3. They're called flexible cutting mats. And this is the small size right here, and I'm just going to tuck this under here. And the nice thing about it is it fits really easily in my dishwasher. So I am going to use the cut and close right here because I want to make some chicken fajitas. So I'm going to pre-spice and marinade. Marinade is a wet marinade, and then I'm also going to do some dry marinade. So I just simply slice the meat in the cut and slice, and then I'm going to leave in half of it, and I'm going to slice that again. And you can see that I am starting to get nice thin chicken cutlets. Now, if I wanted to do like a chicken fried steak or an air fried version, a healthier fried version of that, I could just pound that out, put it in a plastic bag, pound it with my meat tenderizer, and make great chicken cutlets. But I just wanted to get this nice and thin. After I make the fajitas, I'm just going to use my salad choppers to chop it into little thin pieces. But right now, this is perfect to make my chicken fajitas. Now, I pre-sliced up yesterday when I was making the spaghetti. I pre-sliced up some onions and bell peppers here that I'm just going to mix in the bag with the fajita mix. And I'm going to use just a few little secret ingredients to make my fajitas. Again, I don't have fresh everything on hand, so I'm just going to kind of cheat a little bit. And that's one of the ways that I cook. I wish I could tell you, hey, I'm a great recipe cook. Here's the recipe for every single thing. But just like me being imperfect, I kind of wing through life. And so here is a single serving of chicken for my chicken fajitas. And I am going to throw a little bit of lemon juice into the baggie. And I don't have to measure this marinade. I'm just going to throw it in there. And then, believe it or not, I'm going to put a little ketchup. I don't want to open up a can of tomato paste. And I don't have any of the tube kind of tomato paste. And I really just want 1 tablespoon. So I'm just going to use ketchup instead. And then I'm going to use some of Pampered Chef's Southwestern seasoning. And right inside the cap, the first little measurement right here is 1 teaspoon. If I filled it all the way to the top, that would be 1 tablespoon. So I'm just going to put in 1 teaspoon. And then I'm going to add a little bit of salt. And I'm just going to open my baggie up here because I'm trying to have minimal mess. I don't know how many of you love dishes, but I just don't really love dishes. I make a lot of dishes because I'm in here cooking, trying to control what I eat, but I try to minimize that amount. So we have that, and then the last thing I'm going to do is I'm going to sneak in a little bit of Pampered Chef's chili lime rub. That just came back. We had it for a while, and then it went away. So I'm just going to sneak in a little bit of the chili lime rub because it has a nice smoky paprika flavor to it. And then I'm going to mush this around right here. And then I'll go ahead and add my bell peppers and my onions. I'm going to blanch those in the microwave in 1 minute. And what happens is if you're going to freeze something and you're putting vegetables in it, you kind of want to break down the cell structure a little bit. And you could do that by flash cooking them in hot water and then taking them and cooling them off, and then that way they stay nice and bright and really colorful. But you can also just put them in your microwave for 1 minute, and that will also break down this outside cell structure. So if you've ever had like frozen vegetables that are kind of chewy, asparagus is one of those things. If you freeze it without cooking it, it just kind of gets this funny texture to it. But if you blanch those vegetables, they're going to turn out much better. So I have my fajita pack right here ready to go. So I'm just going to set those over with the vegetables, and I will deal with that later. So I don't know about you, but I love barbecue chicken. Love barbecue chicken. But again, this is going to be dry on the outside and raw on the inside if I just leave it the way it is. So I'm just going to take this, and I am going to cut it in half right here. And I could use a barbecue sauce, a wet barbecue sauce like this, and do a little marinade with it. But you know, it is going to be full of sugar. And if you are watching your weight, you really don't want to add a ton of sugar to your healthy, lean chicken. So I noticed that there was a little bit of excess fat on this piece of chicken. So I'm just going to cut that off and move it out of the way. And again, you'll notice I am using these small chef tongs. And I am just able to put that on my mat, cut off any little excess pieces of fat. And then I'm going to put this chicken in my baggie. Sorry, I have big baggies, and I'll talk about that in a minute. But I'm just going to throw this chicken breast in here. And I'm going to add some salt and pepper. And this time I am going to use Pampered Chef's Smoky Barbecue Rub. So this is the applewood. And again, I'm going to put in, oh gosh, about 1.5 teaspoons of the Smoky Barbecue Rub. And a little bit of salt, not a lot. And I'm using sea salt, pink Himalayan sea salt, and some fresh pepper in there. And then I am going to smush this around. And if I'm just going to have barbecue chicken, this is probably 1 serving. And I can tell that I want a little more rub on that, so I'm just going to open that up. So I'm going to do 2 of these packs. I really like barbecue chicken. It's super easy. I'm just going to open that up. Add a little bit more. And I'm going to do 2 of these. So one of the things I keep in my kitchen right here is a retired Pampered product that I love, and that is the freezer labels. And I also keep a marker. So because I'm going to know that this is chicken, I'm going to get my fajita pack right here. I'm just going to write Mexican in case I decide to do something besides fajitas. I know that I have it flavored with Southwestern flavored profiles. And then this one right here, I am going to put barbecue. Okay. And so that I'm consistent, I am going to put 1 serving of chicken in each baggie. Well, I guess I've annoyed my husband enough where he's gone to the basement to run. But, you know, I thought, gosh, you know, I can make an excuse not to do this video because he's home watching me. Then I'm thinking, well, I'm going to post it to my Facebook business page. You know, I've got to be brave enough to do this in front of him too. Although he knows me and he laughs at me. All right, so I am going to take 1 more piece of chicken right here, and I'm going to do 1 more barbecue pack out of it. And I'm just going to throw that again in my cut and close. And by making this nice and thin, I can cook it very quickly and keep it nice and moist. So here we go again with our little baggie. It's probably smart if I write on it before I put the chicken in it. Yeah, that's a great idea. Anyhow, I am going to just stick this in here. So one of the things that I like to do is some art. And I'm kind of obsessed with watching art videos. And there's a couple of gals that I really like their stuff. I watch this gal, Sandy Almanac, and she is just this fabulous artist. I am taking a watercolor class from her very slowly because I'm still doing a bunch of other things at the same time. But I've started with her process, and I realized there's a lot of like technical back stuff with the art, and I just really enjoy her stuff. She talks about her dog, she's a real person, and I'm learning from her. And then there's another gal that I like to watch, and her name is Kelly Latavola, and she calls herself a colorist, and she does a lot with Copic markers and just coloring, but she does some watercolor stuff too. And she is really great about sharing herself and being authentic. And I just love that she does that. I kind of think, I'm too busy, I'm boring, I don't really want to share that much about myself. You know, I'm kind of a little bit of a homebody loner. Do I really want people to know how much I'm playing in my art room? Do I really want them to know how much tennis I play? How much time I spend on the phone with family members, and, you know, working. And I'm trying to find that balance because I see what these really successful vloggers do, video bloggers, and I'm like, okay, well, first of all, I don't like to write. I'm truly dyslexic and dysgraphia, which means my writing's a nightmare. And anybody who wants to criticize me, all they have to do is look at 1 sentence and they can start criticizing. So, you know, I don't want to have any haters or people who are trying to fix me. I'm almost 60 years old. You cannot fix me. I can only fix myself and try to be better. But if I try to be better, guess what? I will never do this. I will never share all the good things that I do know and that I do. So, I've got my second pack of barbecue right here. All right, I've got another piece of chicken. And this time, again, I'm going to cut it into 2 pieces. Oh, it's got a little bit of fat on there I want to deal with. Right here. You notice I'm not doing a lot of touching of the chicken. You don't have to do a lot of touching of the chicken. I have this awesome chef's tongue, and I am using the chef knife because I want a nice long blade to go through my cut and close. And this time I'm going to do Italian chicken. So I can use it in chicken parmesan, I could use it in spaghetti and just top it with some chicken. I like to do zucchini, stir fry, and do an Italian style. So there's lots of things. So I want to spice this one up in an Italian way. And I can use some Italian salad dressing, which is great. But there's some oil in there, and right now I want to control how much oil I'm using. So I am going to use the Pampered Chef Spritzer and just spritz some oil in there. So I'm not going to have sticking issues, and I'm just going to pump this up. Now, this is one of these products that people love and people hate it. And the reason why is a lot of times they don't clean it out, they overfill it, they're not using it that much. But I kind of filled mine up quite a bit because I'm using it with my air fryer. So when I cut up those yams really quick, and I'm going to do yam chips with the smoky barbecue rub on them, they're awesome. I just give them a little spritz of oil, and I'm using an air fryer for that. But I am just going to put in some garlic rub right here. And this is like the herb garlic rub. And then I'm going to put in one of my favorite Pampered Chef seasonings, and that is the Italian. And if I had to introduce you to 3 seasonings, I think I would introduce you to Italian, Southwestern, and the smoky barbecue rubs. Those are the ones I use a lot because I can do so much with them. I'm going to put a little bit of acid in here, and this time I'm going to use some red vinegar. I'm just going to put that in there. Yep, that's me. Okay, and of course some salt and pepper. Do you know how easy these are going to be to take out to the grill or put in a pan? They're going to be ready to go. We're going to write, oh, forgot to write on it ahead of time. Alrighty. So sometimes you just want plain chicken. I'm going to get Italian written on this, but I'm going to do chicken breast with just salt and pepper. And I'm just going to write on it plain. Because sometimes I need to do chicken salad really quick, or I just want chicken to add to a recipe that has its own spice profile. So of course I'm going to just do plain, which is of course salt and pepper. So I'm writing Italian on here. Okay, got it. I think I'm going to get a new Sharpie. I just realized I could barely read that, so I'm off camera for a second. So I'm committed to do more live and to do more videos. Okay, this is much easier to read. All right, it was time for me to throw this Sharpie away and have a new Sharpie in my stash over here. So here's our Italian packet. I'm going to set this out of the way over here. And I'm going to just do the salt and pepper. Okay. And on the salt and pepper, I think I'm going to do some cubes. So cutting off this extra little fat right here. And this time, I am going to use my cut and seal to get us going here. And I'm just going to do a quick little slice this direction and take off one of those pieces. And then I am going to kind of roll this a little bit. There we go, like that. And like that. So I'm going to get both of them in there. All right, perfect. So now all I have to do is chop the chicken up a little bit so that I have that. I'm going to move my cut and slice out of the way. And I'm just going to show you, I hold this with the tongs, and I'm just going to cut about 1 inch apart. and then do that again, going the other direction, and I have got the chicken all cut up. So you can buy pre-sliced chicken in the store, and you can buy it chunked up like this as well. But that's a lot of handling that somebody else is doing with your meat. And every time they handle it, they charge you a fee. So if you can only get one big package of chicken, because they're limiting at the grocery store that you can buy one beef, one pork, one chicken, you know, think about getting the full breast and doing the little cutting yourself. So just a little bit of salt and pepper in there. We don't need a lot. And I love the Pampered Chef grinder set. It keeps my mess down. I can move it from the stove to the table. Definitely one of the products that I use the absolute most in my kitchen. It's not the most glamorous product to buy. And a lot of times we can say, well, I already have salt and pepper shakers. But I have the old one. I just couldn't get rid of it because I just use these so much. Now they've kind of updated it, streamlined it, you know, matches our kitchens a little bit more. But these are great products. So this one I'm just going to write on here plain, and that was it. It is ready to go as well. So plain. My dyslexic brain wanted to write the kind of plane that you fly, but I think I got it right that time. Okay, so we have one more piece. Let's look at what we have here. We have barbecue. Ooh, we have Jamaican jerk. How does nacho sound? You know? And that's probably not going to be one of my most healthy choices, but, you know, avocado, cheese, nachos, salsa, that sounds great. So again, I am going to do a Jamaican jerk nacho, and I am going to put a little bit of Southwestern seasoning in there too. But since I'm going to do nachos, I want the chicken cut up really fine. I know I can use my little trick again with using my salad choppers when I cook them to kind of shred them and cut them into really small pieces. But I'm just going to use this cut and close again right here to get it started, because it just cooks so much faster this way, and I can control that I don't get dry chicken on the outside and uncooked chicken on the inside. Of course, I'd keep cooking it, and then of course it would get even more dry. So we're down to the last packet of chicken from our big packet. And again, same way that I did it before. This was a really big piece. I think I can cut that one more time. You can see how nice and thin that is. So I'm just going to put that up in there again. Okay, and now I am done with the close and slice. I am going to put this in the dishwasher. So top rack, I just open it up. It's like two little trampolines. I should have played with it a little bit in front of you. Here, I don't want to touch it with my hands, but both the top and the bottom have a spring on. So it's in the dishwasher, ready to go. I find if I do that along the way, I have less mess to clean up. So here is my little scraps and my chicken thing, throwing that in the dish and the trash can, and here we go. I'm just gonna kind of slice this into long pieces. And on the baggie, I am just gonna write nachos. And that'll be like my treat. So, and those of you who are gluten-free, you're gonna love the nachos because you can make them with corn chips, corn tortillas. You could even do this as a nacho salad. So if you were working on cutting out the carbs, carbs. Okay, maybe I should do that nacho salad idea for myself here. And we are going to just add a little bit of citrus. Got my baggie here. And now you can see how easy this is going to be for me to rotate with my sausage and, oh, it's elk sausage. I didn't tell you that. So my husband's a hunter, and we have a freezer full of elk. So I don't love gamey food, but elk seems to be better than the deer I had growing up. My dad was a hunter too, and in California it was like really, really kind of gamey, sagey kind of thing. We moved to Nebraska. Deer are definitely corn-fed there, much better, and the elk in Colorado, pretty good. So I put about 2 teaspoons of the Jamaican jerk, and then I am going to go back and grab a little bit of the chili lime rub and a little bit of the Southwestern. And then I thought, oh, maybe I should do an Asian or a lemon pepper for my last one that came in this little baggie right there. So that one was pre-frozen. I'm not going to freeze that again. Oh, I was going to add the lemon juice. I like to have fresh lemons on hand and add the lemon zest or lime zest, but I don't have that right now. So anyhow, just going to rub that around. Got that going here, and I'm just going to write on this nachos or nacho salad. Maybe I'll do the reminder that I'm supposed to do the healthy version by putting the nacho salad on there. Okay, so I've got that going right here. We are down to our last one. I'm going to get in my spice cupboard, and I am going to find the lemon pepper. Kind of thinking that I might want to do Asian. I can always use the salt and pepper plain one that I did and add some Asian seasoning to that to do lettuce wraps. That would be one of my go-to things as well. That's healthy. Kind of jokingly tell my husband that I am the vegetable loader, and I try to sneak as many vegetables as I can in our foods. Okay, got this last one out, and I'll tell you, I've had to touch the chicken more with this baggie, getting it out, than I had to do with the other ones. Being careful and noticing that I touched the knob to my trash can cupboard here, so I just took one of those Lysol wipes and wiped that off because I know I just touched the chicken. So our last one, it's pretty thin, you know, that one's thin. It's not like the other one. So I think I'm going to leave that all in one piece, throw it in the baggie, and again, add my salt and pepper. I think I'm going to wipe my salt and pepper shaker off with my Lysol wipe, generic brand, whatever it was I was able to get. Put some salt and pepper in there, and then we're going to add the lemon pepper, and we're going to mush that around. And that's really a small one, so I might make a notation to myself that this is lemon pepper for one. Definitely not enough chicken for 2 people. Okay, so I told you I was going to tell you what I do with the large baggies. So I'm moving my little station out. I'm washing my hands for 20 seconds. Happy birthday, happy birthday, happy birthday. You know I cheated, so I'm going to come over here and get a fresh wipe and just use that on my hands. And then will sanitize the station. Other products that I frequently use when I'm doing this is I'm going to do fresh garlic. I would use the garlic press, and I love the Pampered Chef kitchen shears. So here's my big bag, and instead of having all these little chicken packets running around my freezer that can get stuck on racks and everything, I just put them in a bigger baggie, and I flatten them out right here. And then I'm going to find space in my freezer for them. The one that was already defrosted, the lemon pepper one, I'm just going to stick that in my fridge because I know I have to use it right away. And then I'm going to put these in my freezer and they're ready to go. I'll make more videos as we use them and as I'm flip-flopping back between the sausage and the elk hamburger and the different things I decide to make. Thanks for joining me today. And if you know somebody who is cooking for one or two, please let them know about these videos and forward them to them like me. As well as if you are doing this for a big family, you can do them all based on the portions that you need for your family. So it's a super easy principle. If you're on a diet, this is a great way to not feel like you're eating the same thing all the time. Thanks for joining me. Talk to you soon. Bye.